So now we're finding the median using Python. I've got a list of just random data here. This is actually one of the lists of data from the lesson. I've just shuffled up the order of it. And when we were working on the iPad, all of our data was sorted from least to greatest for us. So it was really easy to find that median, that middle value. So when we're finding the median here, it's going to be really important for us to sort the data first. So we can use one of two methods. I'm just going to use list.sorted, right? And then let's go ahead and print out that list and make sure that works for us. If I jump over to my terminal, right, and I run this file, oops, got my functions messed up. I want list.sort, right, and clear out my, right, run it. Now I see my list is sorted, right? So that's great. Now I want to find the middle value, but we talked about there being a difference if this is an odd numbered list and an even numbered list, right? If I have, and let's go ahead and just give ourselves one of each so we can test both. Let's see, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? So we'll call this one list odd, and this one we'll call list even, and on this one, right, let's add a 13. So let's first list odd dot sort and list even dot sort, right? So let's say, and let's go ahead and do this in a function, right? Let's say def median takes in a list, and I guess what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do, whether it's odd or even, is we're going to sort it. So we can sort of get rid of these two lines, right? And then we can say if my list, if the length of my list is even, right, then I'm going to want to do something, and, right, otherwise I'm going to do something else. Oh, no. Right? So if my list is even, I want to find that middle value, right? How can I find that middle value? If I looked at my even list, right, if I just look at that list sorted, so I'm going to come down here and say lst even dot sort, and then print lst even, and then I'm just going to comment this out so it doesn't throw an error, and right, I'm actually looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So my median is going to be between these two numbers, right? Between the 6th and the 7th number, or in the 5th and the 6th index, right? So keep that in mind. I'm looking for the numbers 5 and 6th for the 6th and 7th number in a list of length 12, right? Maybe the first thing that I might need to do, right, if I have len of my list, right, let's print that. Right, I have 12, right? The first thing I might do to get to the middle value is to do floor division, right? I might say, oh, I want to find the middle index. I'm going to use floor division, and it says, oops, right, that's going to be 6, right? But I'm actually looking for the value between, right, that floor division number, right, and the number above it, right? The floor division gives me the 6th number in the list, right? But we're dealing with Python indexing, which doesn't start at 1. It starts at 0, right? So what I'm actually going to want to do is subtract 1 from this, right? And that gives me my first number, right? So in my function, right, I'm going to say, right, I'm going to call this mid-index is equal to the length of my list, floor division 2 minus 1, right? And then, right, what I'm going to want to return is the average, so the sum from my list at that middle index value, right, plus the next value up as well, right? So I have my 6th and my 7th number in my 5th and my 6th index, right? And I'm going to want to divide those by 2, right, to get the mean. Right? So I want to make sure that I'm taking the sum in the numerator, right, and dividing that by 2. I think I've got an extra parentheses here, right? I'm taking the sum of these two items in my numerator. I'm dividing those by 2. Now, let's consider an even list again, or excuse me, an odd list this time, right? Let's say this time we're going to have list odd sort. Right? Let's just print the length of that odd sorted list. We have 11. That's great, right? Again, let's go to our floor division and figure out, hey, what is the middle number, right? Which number is going to be my median, right? I can see here if I have 11 items in my list, let's actually go ahead and print this list as well. Right, my list, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? So if I do floor division, that actually returns 5. That's not the number that I am going to use. The 5th number is not the number that I'm going to use. I'm going to use the 6th number as my median, right? Think about 11 divided by 2. That's 5.5. If I use floor division, it's returning 5, right? But because I am using 0 index in Python, right, I might usually want to say, oh, add 1 to that. But because I'm starting at 0 instead of 1 in Python, I would add 1 to it and then subtract 1 away for the indexing. I can just leave it where it's at, right? The index I want is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I actually want the value in the 5th index as my median, right? So that floor division is actually going to give us the index that we want. So here, right, let's go ahead and uncomment this, and I think we can just jump straight to a return statement here, and we can just return the list at the length of that list divided by 2, right? Floor division by 2. Now, if I go ahead and check this out, right? If I do my median of my list odd, and I do my median of my list evens, right? Hopefully I'll come up with the correct values here. Looks like I've got some issues here. Int is not iterable. We're going to check out what's going on here, right? Let's see if it's even hitting inside this loop. It is hitting inside that loop. Looks like it's working fine, actually, on the odd list. It's not working on the even list. It is getting here, right? Let's see if it gets to this line. It is getting to this line, so I know that the error is on this line. So let's go ahead and let's print out my list at my mid index. So that works, right? And then let's print that out at +1. And that works, right? So let's go piece by piece. Oh, what I'm doing is I'm using a sum function and addition all in the same place, right? I just need some parentheses to make this happen, right? If I were summing two things, I could maybe have a comma in there. There would be a list of those two things, right? That was kind of silly of me. But now I can see that the median of my odd list is 16. The median of my even length list is 15.5, right? But of course, you don't need to do all of this from scratch. You can simply, we can import NumPy, right? And we can just say NumPy dot, or we can just say, np import NumPy as np, right, is how we would typically do this. And then we want to say np.median of odd list even, hopefully I did those in the same order. I don't think I did. I did them in the opposite order, but you can see we come to the same values, right? And even furthermore, right, if these were actually NumPy arrays, which you're going to use a lot as a data scientist, right, as opposed to being lists for numeric data, right, you can also call this just by saying list even dot median, right, and then list odd dot median, right? This works as well. Go ahead and execute that. It actually doesn't work. I might be mistaken here. I am mistaken here, right? So you'll have to use this np median function the way I have, right? So that's how you can write an algorithm for scratch, or a function from scratch, to find the median. This is also how you can use NumPy imported to find the median of a list or some sort of data set. So that's it for the median lesson. I look forward to seeing you over into the next video, where we're going to talk a little bit about mode.